Namaste. Welcome to yet another series of Accomplished Women by Thought Habitat Speaks. The uniqueness of the series is getting redefined day by day. We covered women from footwear industry and we interviewed a senior publicist, a healthcare professional, a woman entrepreneur from fintech space. And the women with us today is someone far more ahead of everyone in today's world. Accomplished women in itself is an understatement to define her. She must rather be called as a warrior, a crusader, or whatever superlatives that comes first. She empowered rural women in Kodaikanal to pursue education. She taught them the power of education. In fact, we must say she transformed the entire society over there. And she made not only the woman but also her family realize the importance of education. And now here she is. After bringing up thousands of women from Kodaikanal as academicians, and here she stands as an epitome of victory, valor. I'm short of words to explain that. And let us quickly welcome Dr. Rajeshwari, former Dean of Mother Teresa Women's University. Ma'am, privilege
Hey,
is an understatement, and thank you for joining us as an understatement. And I really cannot define, women empowerment is not something that exists in the urban clusters. Women empowerment is really happening in the rural arena. And
yeah,
people
true.
like you have proved it time and again. And at least for that reason, I bow to you for the service you've
Okay.
rendered to the society.
Thank you. It's my
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah. And ma'am, without much delay, I'm jumping on to my questions.
Yes, please.
So, would you like to name one incident that was a trigger point, or that one incident which directed you or prompted you to become an academician in your entire life?
Yes. Yeah. Very nice question. Because being a professional, one can be a journalist, one can be an academician, teacher, professor. In spite of so many avenues before us, I prefer to become an academician because teaching is a profession, mother of all the professions. That is one of the reasons. And my teachers are the role models because I was completely brought up in single sex school from my first class up to my PG. Completely, I was in girls' institution. So the teachers at various levels, from primary, middle, at that time only high school, then college, then university. And in university at the time of, say, 87, only one head in Madurai Kamaraj University, lady administrator, lady academician, Dr. J.K. Pillai. She was my motivator to become an academician like my professor. That is the reason. Thank you. Thank you.
That's really wonderful. Like I mean, I'm getting to hear more and more new things from you whenever I talk to you.
Okay. Right.
Okay,
Fine.
I'm going to my next question. So, ma'am,
Yes, please.
Mother Teresa Women's University was solely meant for the purpose of empowering rural women in Kodaikanal,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you were among the first few working members for Mother Teresa Women's University.
Right.
As you've been there since beginning, there's no one better than you to say this. How far the rural women literacy has grown up since the inception of Mother
Yes.
Teresa Women's University.
Very vital question because this was established by our former CM Dr. MGR, and the foundation stone was laid by a lady, the great soul Nobel laureate Mother Teresa in 1984. That was the intention of our CM, to lay the foundation with the woman. And it was started the first women's university, state women's university in Tamil Nadu, following the steps of SNDT Women's University, which was established in 1960 in Bombay. So that is the role model we have taken up. And it was established for two reasons. One is for rural women folk, uplifting rural women folk, and to attract the researchers to take up research in this area, and to welcome the international researchers also because of the climate. These are the main reasons it was established. And to quote how it was fulfilled, I can quote few examples because it is one among the taluks in Dindigul district, educationally backward district. Right? Dindigul was, called as the educationally backward district, and Konakanal is a tourist place having 15 villages and 64 hamlets. And with the intention, because we have tribal villages. Even now we have tribal villages in Kadutadi, Pachalur, Pumbarai, and Palias community are still the best examples of the tribal community. And they don't have any opportunities to have education, even school education, because geographically we are isolated. The villages are here and there you can see, and there is a place called Vellakavi. Kavi means valley. We don't have any transport facilities in this area, which is having the least population of 13,000. And the biggest is Vilupatti, biggest village. Why I'm citing this? Because they are underprivileged with the educational facilities. Economically, socially, they are not privileged. And after all, they may have school education, and they don't prefer to go for higher education because earlier they had to go to either Palani, Periykulam, Madurai, and Coimbatore, who are little above average economically will prefer to go to Madurai or Coimbatore. And others, the second category goes to Palani and Periykulam. And only after the establishment of 1984, this university was first established. And 87, it started its work with full swing. And I'm privileged to join in 87 in the first batch. And that gives me more exposure, experience in the field of women's education, I should say. And here I should record my gratitude to my professor and the second Vice Chancellor, Dr. J.K. Pillai, who gave a very good guidance and direction to work in this area of women's education. Because my MPhil education itself is women's education. Specialization is in women's education. My PhD is in gender inclusive curriculum, how the textbooks are biased in portraying women. Now, of course, it is improved. So here, I like to quote 3 packets. Tribal girls got the opportunity to come to higher education. Rural women, first generation learners got the opportunity to come to higher education. Since it is women's university, single sex, and you can understand the perceptions of the rural parents to send their children to the higher education where it is only meant for women. And the third one is the minority. Highest population is Muslims. Next comes first group is Hindus. Second goes to Muslims. And you can see, you might have observed, they don't prefer to send their children for higher education, especially in plains. So because of the establishment of this university, rural girls in general, minority girls in particular, tribal girls in particular got the opportunity, and we provide, since the transport facilities, public transport facilities is very less, Mother Teresa University is flying about 8 buses to meet the demands of the rural villages. They are bringing the children to the college and sending back. So that is a privilege for these rural women, hilly based women, girls to get the education and get empowered. So in that way, it is accomplished. We have attained the goal, I should say.
I must really say, however however far you are, if you have the will, you have the way, as they say. And
That is true.
Mother Teresa University and people like you are really the epitome of that. I can
Yeah,
visually see that.
it's a blessing. We got it to work in this field. Yeah, true.
That's great. Yeah. And my next question.
Yes, please.
So, apart from being the former dean of Mother Teresa Women's University, you have also undertaken various government projects
Yes.
based on what I'm
Yes.
aware of. So, would you
Yeah.
like to narrate your experience in getting involved in those and performing those activities?
Yes. Here I like to quote a few examples of what I have done. We have taken up MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development projects. That is, as a nodal agency, as a nodal officer of 17 districts in Tamil Nadu,
Oh,
we took a survey of the functioning of SSA. Since we are able to do effectively, in the consecutive year also we got the same project along with RMSA project, again for 17 districts. This is from 2011 to 2015. On the basis of that, again, from National Institute of Planning and Administration, NEPA, we got another project called School Leadership Academy. It was established and we were the nodal agency for the NEPA New Delhi, and we covered all 33 districts, the HMs and prospective HMs, to train in the way of equipping themselves to be the effective and successful leaders. So I should say, we also learn from the HMs because we are from higher education. So it is a real life sharing experience with the school headmasters. I should say that university should come to the level of the teachers, grassroots level, and they can understand and have a real lifetime experience. So I should say these type of projects, NEPA, NAC, MHRD, all gave us a good exposure to the real situation. And we understood that Tamil Nadu is leading in SSA with a great success. And because we are having the general body meeting as well as a review meeting, and other states like Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, they all visited our SSA in Tamil Nadu because it is a role model for the others.
that's
Oh,
wonderful.
that is a thing I should admire, and I appreciate what we are doing here.
That's really great.
Yeah, good.
And ma'am, I'm also aware of the fact that you were a single woman in several assessing committees such as NAAC, right?
Yes.
So, did you find any gender based challenges in those committees? And how was your experience? Would you like to
Yeah.
narrate some of your experiences there?
Yes. Yes. As far as my experience is concerned, okay, with the state government agencies, with the national government, central government agencies like NCTE, National Council of Teacher Education committees, NAC committees, SSA committees, and most of the time, out of 3 members, as you say, I was the only woman in the group. Since it is higher education and the chairperson will be one of the vice chancellors, and we are the members of the committee or the coordinator of the NAC committees, so it is a really joyful experience. We learn from each other all along a long way, not only in India, even abroad. Right? Always I used to travel alone and I would have to work with men. But as for us, me, no gender bias, no discrimination. We learn from each other. It is a sharing experience, joyful experience.
That's really great. You've really taken things in a very positive way and you move ahead. And when I ask the same question to others, I
Yeah.
mean, that turned out to be a different
Yes.
experience from all of them. No, was really great. Yeah. And ma'am,
Okay.
one
That's nice.
last
Okay.
question. So now that I'm aware that you've
Yes,
retired from your
please.
services from Mother Teresa Women's University, and yet you're continuing your academic works, right? So, what's
Yes.
more in
Yes.
cards for you to explore as an academician?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as me concerned, no retirement for academicians. I am retired only from Mother Teresa, not from my profession. Okay. Because that is the experience I'm having, and it is a great support for my family because I am on the wheel of academic line. And what, of course, as you have already introduced, you have brought up young adolescents, educated them not to get the degree, but life skill education, I should say, liberation, I should say, economic independence, I should say. But still, there are certain targets yet to be completed. There is a long way to go. And few among them are differently abled women. Because one of my pet area is special education. And I feel comparing to differently abled men, differently abled women still yet to go, come up in life. And the second one is the tribal women. Because I am in Kodaikanal, a hill station, Princess of Hills, I feel that not up to the mark. So still we have to work for educating them and empowering them. They are ready to do. Only thing they need the direction, they need the support from us. So these two are the main areas. One is the differently able and another is the tribal women. Still, I have to work for them and to uplift them because they are all fellow women. It is mandatory for us. It is no obligation. Because we got the privilege, we have to make the others privilege. That is the intention. Only thing we have to just help them to come up, then they will make others to come up. No problem. It is a chain effect, right? So these two areas, as per my perception, still I have to do a lot. Yeah.
You know what? You're really putting me to shame. You know, every time when I
Okay.
do something, I feel that, okay, I've achieved something big. But you
Yeah.
know, even after all these years of service, after all the hard work done, you're
Yeah.
still telling, I have more to do.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
you're truly an inspiration for
Thank
the
you.
entire, I mean, not only for women, for anyone, in fact. As an
Yes.
individual, you're setting a benchmark for every single individual out there in the world to
Okay.
achieve something big. And ma'am,
Okay.
I really
Yes.
regret that I didn't have the opportunity to work with you so far. And I
No
really
problem.
wish one
Welcome
day or
to
the
work
other
with you.
I can.
No, no problem. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I wish you
Thank you.
all the best for all your
Yes.
endeavors ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, Mr. Arvind. Wish you all the
Thank you.
very best in your
Thank you,
endeavors.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.